Good evening, classmates. My name is Earl McFarland, and I'm recording this video for HIUS 530. When I first saw that we could speak about the Scopes trial, I became very excited because when we first learned about this court case, everything kind of came together for me. And what I mean by this is the essence of fundamentalism and how the effects permeates throughout faith and politics. So to get into it, I will explain fundamentalism, which began around the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Fundamentalism is a strict belief in the literal translation of the text of the Bible. And I mean the literal translation, which kind of is uneasy because when I think of that, I think of Islamic countries and how most of their laws are based on the historic laws of their religion, laws that do not exactly fit in the modern world, and is the basis for discrimination, specifically towards women. Something that I feel would have happened here in America, maybe not to that extent. So not to lose track on the topic, which is about the Scopes trial, or what it was known as the monkey trial. To give a brief overview of the trial, it was set in a small town of Dayton, Tennessee in July of 1925. A high school teacher by the name of John Thomas Scopes was accused of violating the Tennessee Butler Act, which prohibited the teaching of human evolution, something fundamentalists feared would cause Christians to question their theology, questions that included inconsistencies or contradictions that were in the Bible, things that caused more questions that the faith leaders were unwilling or unable to answer. An example would be like the story of Jonah and the well. Arguing for the prosecution was three-time presidential candidate, former Secretary of State, and champion of the fundamentalist William Jennings Bryan. The defense side was famed attorney James Darrow. The judge made it difficult for the defense. For example, he threw out or didn't allow major items of evidence or expert testimonies presented by the defense. And this goes to show the environment at the time and the influence of evangelicals and fundamentalists. The judge did, however, allow Darrow to interview Bryant, which was the most significant part of this case, in the fact that Darrow got Bryant to admit that the Bible was not at all the literal word of God. Although this was a strategic move by Darrow, Scopes still lost the case. This is a significant win for fundamentalism and the conservative Christians we see today. The emergence of Darwinism was the reason for this trial, but notable mentions are the apocalyptic thoughts and fears from fundamentalists. The apocalyptic worldview at the center of fundamentalism found its roots in the late 19th century when a series of crises rocked the foundation of American Protestantism. Some other factors that played into the fears of conservative Christians were the persecution of Jews by the hand of Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini's restoration of the Roman Empire, and Joseph Stalin's institutionalization of state atheism. The fundamentalists saw these as signs of the end of days depicted in the Bible. Some believe that instead of progressing towards God and the eternal salvation on earth, we were actually regressing, taking major steps backwards. And the World War and other things that were happening at the time was proof of this. Other factors included the rise of modern university systems, liberal universities, urbanization, along with massive Catholic and Jewish migrations, active criticism of the Bible's literature, and collective study of world religions, all prompted Christians to rethink their whole theology. Political and religious dogma was all-consuming, and fundamentalists attempted to stave off the modernists and hold on to what they felt were the core values of the faith. It is said that fundamentalism bred modern Republican conservatism and what we know today as evangelicals, the Bible Belts, etc., and how the effects are felt throughout modern society and the political realm. In the end, there appears to, or at least to me, there is still that struggle between fundamentalists and modernists, and I feel that struggle will continue on even in our lifetime. Thank you for watching my video, and I wish you peace and that God's grace continue to overflow in your life. God bless.